Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where and when you are watching this video from. Once again, we are here with State of the Continent just to tell you what is happening in the continent of Africa. This is literally what is happening in the state of the continent. So this week we are starting off from a very high note from various countries, especially here in Kenya, where we are seeing the petitions that were taken to the Supreme Court of Kenya, which is led by the President of the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, called Martha Koome, Lady Justice. Martha Koome is, they'll be following that. Today, you have seen them do the pre-trials, and they were preparing themselves, and tomorrow they resume at around 9 a.m. Kenyan time. So we are waiting to see. But all eyes are on the 5th of September, where we expect them to give their the lawyers can tell me whether it's a verdict or is a ruling. And I'm seeing early the same thing is happening in Angola. You know, I've seen the Angolan largest opposition party called UNITA announced on Tuesday that it will contest the result of the legislative elections announced the day before, which gave the ruling party the victory and a second term for the outgoing president, Joao Lourenço. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right. However, we are seeing much of what is happening in Kenya is going to happen in Angola. And this is just wonderful because we are seeing our courts are now taken to account. We want to see how the courts of Africa are going to work out. As we are focusing on the Supreme Court of Kenya, we also want to see how Angola will be moving on. Ali, how are you today? How is South Africa? What is going down there? And maybe you can tell us how you have been today.
Thank you so much, my friend. Good evening, good day, good afternoon to everyone joining and watching the video. My name is Ali Medicana. Welcome to African Corner. We're doing great, my brother. This side doing well. We know today the president was doing the Q&O, where the president was in the parliament today. He was answering a couple of questions. It was a chaos in the parliament. The members of the members of the EFF, the Economic Freedom Fighters, they caused chaos in the parliament, where they wanted the president specifically to answer the question that what happened with the Pala farm, where apparently, according to the media, they find a lot of dollars which they were found under mattress. They wanted that question to be answered, and the EFF was actually just making point of orders in the parliament. It was a chaos one, my brother, in the parliament today in South Africa. And also, we have learned a couple of things this side in South Africa also. We have learned that the Home Office department actually is experiencing some problems with their systems, you know, where it was becoming difficult for them actually to validate some of the certificates, that is the birth certificate and also marital certificate. So it's a chaos. When the system is down, it's becoming a problem. And we also learned that the Parliament of South, remember, my friend, I don't know if you're aware that the Parliament of South Africa, it was burned down. So currently they're busy trying to rebuild the parliament, and the engineering experts are saying that to redevelop the parliament is going to cost them a lot of money, around about 1 billion rand to do that, and it's going to take some time for them to be able to build that because of the ID cost and the security cost also. Nothing much happening this side. From your side, what's happening?
You know, actually, I do understand that EFF is the opposition party in South Africa, right?
Correct.
Led by Julius Malema.
Correct.
I was following that Q&A of your president. You had sent me that link, and I was following up, and I was seeing how he was trying to answer the question. Actually, you have mentioned Julius Malema, and I've just remembered a certain meme that is going around this country, Kenya, about people saying that, you know, 2 weeks ago you were in that duration of the general election, and everybody in Kenya was a political analyst. Everybody in Kenya was a political scientist. Last week, everybody was a mathematician because there was an issue of the 0.01. The Kenyan people will understand what I'm saying. And also this week, all of us are going to be lawyers. So you are going to hear the language that I'm going to use, like things like amicus curiae, things like, you know, that lawyer's language. So don't worry. This week, everybody in Kenya is sort of a lawyer. You know, Kenya, that's how we operate. We don't know what will be next week, So it is interesting to see how it is going to go about. However, Ali, I'm also seeing something that is not really a developing story, but I thought we should share with our audience here. I was looking at a story that was up early this month, that is on the 8th of August, and it was a story about Benin, Nigeria, and the UK, that is London. So London's Honeyman Museum was to return the Benin bronzes to Nigeria, and they were saying that the museum and gardens in southeast London, to be specifically, say that it will transfer a collection of 72 items to the Nigerian government. This is happening. This decision is coming after the Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments formally asked the artifacts to be returned earlier this year, and following a consultation with community members, artists, school children in Nigeria and the UK. So the museum agreed that they will be transferring those artifacts and collections to Nigeria. And this is a really interesting story because, remember, we have had this discussion about many museums in the West, both in the Americas and in England, and also in the entire Europe, are really filled up with Africa's artifacts, African stuff. And it has always been a ball of contention where the Africans are demanding their things back. I remember a certain story I was reading about France having such an issue. And the reason why it is an issue is because it is evident and it is very clear that these objects were acquired through force. And external consultations need to be done, because what did they do? They did take these things while they were exploiting the Africans. They were colonizing the Africans. So I was really thinking this is a really good gesture of the London people and the English people as a whole to try and return the things that really do not belong to them. They really belong to Africa. And also, I think in the same spirit, many countries in Africa who they feel that their things are out there, they should try and request for them, and maybe we find consultative ways where we can just ask for them. Remember, just the other day, Kenya launched a very big museum called Uhuru Gardens, and it has such kind of things, and some of the things that were brought to that museum was sorted from other parts of the world where things that belong to Kenya were there. So I was really thinking this is a good idea. Ali?
It is a quite idea. Let them bring what belongs to us back so that we can see what they have stolen from us. Also, we are looking at what is happening in our neighbor country, in Zimbabwe. We have learned that in Zimbabwe, actually, they jailed around about 148 Malawian nationals, which were found without a which were found without a legal document. Harare actually has sentenced 148 Malawian nations between 4 and 6 months in prison. We have learned this via the Malawian Freedom Network reports, where they were reporting that they were arrested because they were not having the proper papers. Also, we have learned that in Madagascar, around about 19 people have been shot down today because there was a protest which was taking part, and 21 people were injured and still treated in the hospital in Congo, according to the African news that was happening that side. Nothing much happening this side in Africa today. All is in order, my brother. We are just fighting for corruption that is taking part.
Yeah, and as much as you're also fighting corruption, you're also seeking peace all over the continent. And it is also in the same spirit that we are urging our audience to continue subscribing, continue sharing, continue commenting, liking. This is the only place in the entire continent, actually the entire world, where you'll get to receive a weekday state of the continent. Who does that? Ali, who does that? It is only here in African corner where you get to see such kind of things. So guys, please don't be selfish. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, and anybody and everybody who's around you. Tell them state of the continent is the place to be, to know what is happening in the continent, so that you can be updated. So we are doing that for you, and in return we're just simply asking you share it with your friends, continue subscribing, and nothing more. That's the day. That's what we have for today.
Nothing much we have for today, my brother. What we can say to the Kenyan people is that thank you so much, my brother. Bye bye.
Asante sana.